Do ghosts exist? Yes, they do. Can they be formalized? Yes, they can. Now, this will just be a preview. When someone dies traumatically or suicidally, what can happen is their spirit complex elects to subject their body complex and mind complex to what's called a pre-retraction. When people have NDEs, myself included, we enter a kind of pre-retraction, which is a partial life review. The partial life review is a subset of time loops where the incarnation as a timeline can be decomposed into sub-timelines, right? Going to the grocery store, etc. Those become time loops when completed. When the entire incarnation is completed, it's a complex time loop. And the subset of time loops that are manifest as timelines in the pre-retraction is a subphase of what's called full retraction, which is the life review proper. When someone actually dies, when someone discarnates, they actually have to realize and review their lifetime as part of a full retraction. And this is something we can't get into in this preview, but we'll take it for now. The pre-retraction is a paradoxical situation in which a spirit complex is subjecting a body-mind feedback to a strict subset of time loops, which are usually designed to either they can be perfectly preserved memories, or they could be combinations of memories and potentials to in some way assuage or prepare the person for the realization of their discarnation. And a ghost is a kind of post-fermionic body, which is nevertheless pre-telonic. It is not yet accepting its discarnate analog, which is experiencing a strict subset of timelines / time loops that basically can be traumatic, or they can be very, very pleasant, depending on if it's suicide. Usually the timelines are pleasant. If it's a traumatic death, likewise. However, if you're a malignant person, if you're acting like a metastasizing cancerous growth on other people, then you will experience, in all likelihood, a quite hellish environment, which is also a pre-retraction. So it's important to note that a discarnation is atemporal, meaning that it's operating on time loops. It's operating on completions. And the completions are themselves atemporal. So a time loop is when the start symbol and end state or outcome of an event form a self-entanglement that can repeat endlessly, and can self-iterate with minor or major modifications endlessly, which is why a lot of people talk about hell being eternal, etc. Hellish environments are part of an atemporal pre-retraction. Now, can you complete the pre-retraction and actually begin fully retracting along all the mappings or events that you generated in your lifetime? Yes, but this is not a time-dependent process. This is not in some way temporally scheduled. This is based purely on will and wish, to put it metaphorically. So, I've personally experienced ghosts, and I've long asked my grandfather, who was basically a shaman, and others, what is a ghost? How does one help a ghost to release its anguish